We are live here at the Times Union Center with Jay Billis, ESPN college basketball expert. And Jay, what'd you think of Nico Clara's performance last night? We'll see what happens. The championship tips off at 9 p.m. He's Jay Billis. I'm Ryan Chichester. Stay tuned on QBSN for more MAC Hoops coverage.
Hot Hoops is heating up as the men's basketball team gets ready for its biggest contest of the season. Meanwhile, the women's train continues to plow through every MAC opponent it faces. And welcome to episode 2 of Hot Hoops alongside Dylan Fear, and I'm Ryan Chichester. Dylan, let's start with the men's team. Manhattan is up next at home tonight. 5th place Manhattan going against 6th place Quinnipiac. Just how important is this game for the Bobcats? Huge tournament implications tonight. 7 p.m. at the Bank. Bobcats and Jaspers will be going at it. And we'll be right back in just a minute, and we'll talk about the women's team and if they'll ever lose a conference game again. Back here on Hot Hoops with Dylan Fear, and I'm Ryan Chichester. Dylan, now we're at a women's team that is 15-0 in the MAC. They've won 16 straight. Their average margin of victory against conference opponents is over 23 points. But they get their toughest matchup this Sunday on the road against Marist, a team they beat by just 6 at home. Does the winning streak stay alive in your mind, or are the Bobcats maybe in some trouble?
The march to the finals continues here at the Times Union Center as the Quinnipiac women's basketball team gets set to take on Rider in the semifinals in just over an hour. Brian Schwartz, I'm Ryan Chichester. Brian, head coach Trisha Fabry talked about Rider's physicality when we were at yesterday's practice. Who on the Bobcats do you think can counter that physicality of the Bronx? Well, we'll see if there is any chance. At 11 a.m. when these two teams tip off, Bobcats and Bronx coming your way. We'll see you post-game. A sluggish Sunday performance results in a second straight loss for the Bobcats as they fall to first-place Rider, 74-59. Alongside Dylan Fear, and I'm Ryan Chichester. Dylan, Rider forces 20 Bobcats turnovers. They have their way on the offensive end for most of the game. Are you surprised by such a convincing win? And that Rider defense seemed to be a step ahead of the Bobcats, especially during that full-court press. How much do you think fatigue was a factor after a double overtime game for the Bobcats Friday night? So now we have the known factor in Iona. They were here last year when we last spoke, and now an unknown factor in Fairfield. Just how much does experience come into play in terms of having an advantage in a game with the stakes as high as tonight? Well, as you say in your tweets every morning, you got to go to work, so we'll let you go. By the way, are those scheduled tweets, or do you just wake up in the morning, you come up with a lyric and post it right away?
I usually wake up in the morning, but if I'm on the West Coast or in Hawaii or something, I still got to sleep. I schedule those things.
All right, well, he's Jay Billis. You can catch him on tonight's MAC Finals, Iona and Fairfield tonight at 7 o'clock. We are here in the Times Union Center, home of the 2018 MAC Basketball Championships. And joining Josh Silverman and me, Ryan Chichester, is Chris Smooth Williams, a MAC champion himself in 1993 with Manhattan. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. I appreciate it, fellas. How's everything?
Doing well. We're getting set for Quinnipiac and Fairfield in tomorrow's semifinals match. Now, Quinnipiac had the day off. Fairfield just played a couple hours ago. How much of an advantage does the Bobcats have now that they had an extra 24 hours of rest? Now, you've been here every year around the MAC. Quinnipiac just shocked Canisius in the quarterfinals. The top 3 seeds are already out, and the semifinals haven't even started yet. Where does this rank among the craziest MAC tournaments you've seen?
Well, the always quirky Yogi Berra once said that he was never in a slump. He just wasn't hitting. Quinnipiac baseball sophomore Evan Volgamore can relate. After starting the season on a 12-game hitting streak, Volgamore has now gone hitless in 7 of his last 8 contests, dropping his batting average from 347 to 240. So what exactly has gone wrong? Well, looking at the stat sheet will only cause further confusion, as Volgamore has only recorded a strikeout in 1 game during this 8-game funk. Clearly, the contact is still there. Are the baseball gods so cruel as to plug every hole in the field to drive Volgamore to madness? The truth is, every player suffers through a slump at some point in their career. They never have a proper explanation and rarely have an end in sight. For Volgamore, the solution may be to just keep swinging away. Maybe he's not in a slump at all. He's just not hitting right now.